Welcome to Legends, a series that delves into the lore within Horizon Forbidden West, specifically concluding our exploration on the many deadly machines of the combat class. Those designed by the subordinate function Hephaestus, as well as others from the ancient past and beyond the stars. A wildly diverse and fearsome group, beginning with one you may not even see coming before the fight is upon you. Where some hunter-killers rely on cloaking tech to take their prey by surprise, the shell snapper is content to hide just below the surface. Able to lie dormant for days and even weeks, covered by the surrounding environment, it becomes nothing more than an unsuspecting mound among the many biomes of the world. When a threat is detected, it will reveal itself, attacking with surprising speed and devastating power. Based on the morphology of snapping turtles, the shell snapper is formidable both on the attack and in its defense. At close range, it will strike out with claws or its powerful bite. Its snapping jaws are also augmented with frost damage and latch down with such force that it will emit a medium-sized shockwave, even wounding those skilled enough to avoid the direct attack. This heavyweight beast will also use its entire body as a weapon, launching itself forward to crush anything unlucky enough to be underneath when it comes crashing down. At range, it can sound off deafening roars to disorient its target and fire low arching projectiles from its frost blasters located on the shell and mouth. When it's time to mount your own offensive, be very precise, as this machine can use your attacks to fuel its own. The shell snapper's back is protected by a special energy shield that's impervious to all damage and elemental buildup effects. If that wasn't enough, if you do strike its shell, this energy will be used to empower several already devastating attacks. Once this power meter is full, its shell and kinetic dynamo will glow yellow, indicating the machine is ready to take aim with its powered blaster and slam attacks. Word to the wise, it's best to try and remove the machine's shell bolts. Not only will this supply the hunter with a key upgrade material from the machine, but can sever entire sections from its shell, exposing critical components to really wound it. And even if you feel well out of the way of potential machine threats, pay attention to your surroundings, because not even a focus can find a hidden shell snapper until it's ready to find you. First encountered in the frozen Banuk lands of the Cut, this next machine strikes fear into the hearts of even the most steadfast hunters, the Scorcher. A cutting-edge hunter-killer first developed within Cauldron Epsilon, these incredibly aggressive and agile machines have found their way to the Forbidden West. Based on the morphologies of ancient canines like jackals and hyenas, they were purpose-built by Hephaestus to lay waste to any foolish enough to face them down. When it comes to the Scorcher, speed and maneuverability are some of its greatest assets in combat. Igniting its leg thrusters, this machine can launch itself nearly 50 meters in mere moments, slashing at its prey, leaving a trail of flame in its wake. Despite the immense force these lunges generate, it's still able to maintain control, turning 180 degrees back towards the target as it lands, chaining another swift attack immediately after the first. From its back, its mine launcher can also litter the area with explosive hazards, capable of detonation in less than a second if not triggered by direct contact. Furnace blasts can also surround the machine in flame for those who get too close before attacking with swipes and bites once more. Even staying hidden from the Scorcher can be a challenge, as its scanning ears emit sonic pulses to detect hunters lying in wait in the tall grass. Even among the new entries in Hephaestus's ever-expanding catalog of hunter-killers, the relentless ferocity and blinding speed of the Scorcher still places this midweight machine, in my opinion, among the most dangerous the subfunction has designed thus far. So, if you must fight one, stay aggressive and keep it incapacitated with shock or knockdowns, because if this machine gets rolling, it's very hard to stop. Despite the subfunction's successes, it's still innovating new machines to terrorize the tribes that hunt its creations, combining the power and size of past heavyweights with the speed and dexterity of lighter counterparts is the terrifying Slitherfang. Inspired by king cobras, This towering mechanical snake sets a new standard for the kind of terrors one can expect to find when braving the Forbidden West. Able to ascend ancient structures or glide beneath the earth, escaping is an option few find if they tangle with the Slitherfang. Swapping between acid and purge water, its rotating neck-mounted elemental sacs indicate which element is active and best suited for the moment's attack. Either can be then shot from its mouth in toxic streams to douse its prey and leave pools of damaging substance to linger on the battlefield. In melee, it will dive and strike with its massive fangs from either above or below its target, all augmented with elemental capabilities. But these are just a few ways the Slitherfang can end a hunter. Its metal hood can send sonic pulses generated from immense vibrations, deafening its enemy, creating an ideal moment to end its foe. Or it can use its tail, infused with shock, to fire long bolts of electricity, or simply crush an enemy under a thunderous slam. As large as this machine is, with its ability to burrow and climb, some may never know they're about to meet their end before it's too late. Stabbed, crushed, electrocuted, or dissolved by acid are all grisly ends that could befall you if the hunt goes poorly. So, target essential components linked to attacks and target its minor weakness to frost, and it may be enough to seize the moment if your skill can withstand its fury. Next, we come to an all-time classic amongst the machines of Horizon. Once held as the most dangerous force in the 31st century and pinnacle of combat technology, the colossal Thunderjaw. First appearing in Karja records in the 13th year of Sun King Jiran's reign, ever since, it's been a terrifying force to reckon with. No matter the machine, Corrupted, Apex, or the mighty Red Maw of legend, each is purpose-built to bring even the most seasoned warriors to their knees. Based on large theropod dinosaurs, they can smash with their tail and feet, crush with their jaws and charges, and vaporize with lasers and energy blasts. Disc launchers fire volleys high into the air, raining explosives and death from above. If you try to hide, its radar pulse can detect your location up to 35 meters away, making the process of avoiding combat problematic to say the least. Karja, Nora, and Quen are just a few to be humbled by this robotic terror, and as long as Hephaestus continues to make them, many, many more may fall to the Thunderjaw before the end. So, be sure to disable its disc launchers to bring its own fury against it, and use elemental damage to try and bring the fight to a close as quickly as possible. When it comes to sheer firepower, where the Thunderjaw began, the Slaughterspine has taken to new heights. A massive conduit for plasma-based energy, this machine can harness the element to fuel attacks up close and from afar. Modeled from the prehistoric Spinosaurus aegypticus, this machine is loaded with heavy weaponry from front to back. Along its defining spine are launchers that fire homing plasma projectiles, a barrage that descends from above, explodes on impact, leaving lingering plasma pools to damage what survives. Or, these launchers can all fire simultaneously, causing a ring of lasers to encircle the target before they all converge on the center for a precision strike. Its tail lancer also has multiple functionality, either being raised high into the air to fire 5 plasma beams at the enemy, or be pierced into the ground to cause an eruption of plasma beneath the hunter up to 52 meters away. On its lower abdomen is its Plasma Earth Blaster, capable of firing a volley of high-speed torpedoes that are half submerged in the earth before exploding on their intended target. All of these, however, pale in comparison to the machine's capabilities when it activates its plasma mode. A 3-phase condition that sees it charge itself, enter a plasma rage, then cool down. When enraged, its entire body becomes a conductor of energy. Its entire being begins emitting damaging waves of plasma, becoming more and more dangerous with each passing moment. In this state, the Slaughterspine can enact its most devastating attack, an enraged atomic breath. On all fours, it exhales a wide-arching beam of plasma 3 times as powerful as its typical breath-based attacks, one that could spell the end of a hunter in a flash of light and energy. These abilities, along with its powerful bites, slashes, and charges, appear to place the Slaughterspine as the new pinnacle hunter of Horizon's world. However, it may only have this prestige among those designed by GAIA or Hephaestus, as our last 3 machines were made outside of the system. Though within the game, they are classified as combat class machines, the final few on our list were designed by humans, either on Earth or among the stars. As the world of the Old Ones turned towards automated military technologies, Pharaoh Automated Solutions would create a line of war machines that would exceed all others. Among its chariot line was its premier scout class machine, the AC-A3 Scarab. Designed for high-speed all-terrain reconnaissance, it touted the highest survivability rating among its contemporaries. Empowered by bioconversion tech and sector-leading force manipulation of other machines, the Scarab was an integral piece of many private robotic war fleets. Eventually, it would become a scourge of humanity, along with its fellow chariot line models, bringing about the Pharaoh Plague. For centuries, these machines lied dormant after the subfunction Minerva forced their deactivation, until they were sold as a means of salvation to a desperate Karja in Shadow. These scarabs would be excavated and resurrected by the Cult of the Eclipse and directed on a path to eradicate their enemies. Known as shadows among the cult, they would be dubbed corruptors by the rest of the tribal world. These machines would corrupt many others, consolidating the cult's power until they laid siege to Meridian. Utilizing spike missiles and grenade launchers, along with surgically precise strikes with its whip-like tail, even alone, it proves a menacing challenge. Even in the 31st century, the Corruptor still functions with extreme effectiveness, showing just how formidable these robots were in their prime, tearing through forces of enduring victory, consuming all in their wake. Encounters with these machines are rare in the Forbidden West, but in these moments, focus your fire on its launchers, heat core, and eye sensor to deal as much damage as quickly as possible. Next we have what could be considered to be the spiritual successor of the Corruptor, utilizing Far Zenith's centuries of technological advancements, the Specter drone. A highly sophisticated combat servitor, it harnesses advanced nanotech for both attack and defense. These nanites can manifest in moments to form blades or turrets to adjust to a changing battlefield. When at range, these turrets can lay down barrages of energy projectiles, while other nanites form protective shielding over critical components. Its design also allows for rapid and fluid motion, giving it more mobility and elusiveness than any earthly machine we've yet seen. Even if a hunter can manage to deal damage and break through some defenses, the machine's regeneration unit can gravitationally pull any torn off nanoplates back to its body, reattaching them to continue the fight. Though incredibly impressive, these midweight machines are susceptible to acid and plasma, so focus on these elemental buildups or tie them down when dealing with multiple drones. Finally, we come to the ultimate amalgamation of Zenith technology, Specter Prime. An exosuit, empowering its pilot with devastating weaponry and unparalleled mobility. Much like Zenith drones, Specter Prime too utilizes nanites. Energy blasts, both rapid and sustained, are extremely powerful, along with golden slams and stabs to end an enemy up close. Many of these attacks also leave toxic sludge in the aftermath, a hazard that should be avoided before one becomes afflicted mid-fight. Though we only see this machine once, under the control of Tilda Vandermeer, if the Zeniths had indeed wanted to conquer the planet for their own, these suits would have decimated any that sought to resist. Now we can only wonder what manner of machines Hephaestus will create next after being exposed to the Far Zenith printing matrix. Though the Zeniths themselves appear to be gone, perhaps their legacy will live on through new machines yet to be revealed. This concludes our exploration into the machines of Horizon Forbidden West. I hope you've enjoyed examining this wonderful robotic ecosystem and are just as excited as I am to see what comes next for the machines of Horizon. And that brings our journey to an end. If you'd like to see more content like this, likes and shares are always appreciated, and if you're hungry for more Horizon lore, consider subscribing and checking out the rest of our content. Also consider supporting the channel on Patreon, so we can keep making content just like this. Check out the link in the description. And as always, thanks for watching, and keep questing.